What's up, people? Happy HumpSday. Oh boy, yesterday was for the dogs. Today is for the rats. Oh boy, do I have a rat case for you. It's so hysterical. We should start a drinking game how many times the word rat is said in the case. I have Braunlick, we have Simpson, we got Bryant, I have TPOs from Kitsch. It is unbelievable the outpouring I've been getting, the support I've been getting. I just want to say it's unbelievable, and I thank every single one of you, whether you've donated, whether you liked, whether you commented, whether you viewed. You've been a part of this, and it's unbelievable. I just want to say thank you. And to everybody else who hasn't seen me yet, you're in for it. So let's rock and roll. It is time for the show as the regulars are trickling in. So, this one was late. I came home and I said, what's on? I started getting ready for the live, doing some stuff for tomorrow. Then all of a sudden, I heard a heavenly voice, and it was Judge Washington, and she had a late docket, and she had a doozy. It was a quick one, but it was so funny. Back to back, I'm going to start with it, and then we're going to get rocking and rolling into the nitty gritty of the show. Let's rock and roll, Judge Washington.
$6,151.78.
There it is.
Ms. Zerker, your landlord indicates you owe $6,151.78 in past due rents. Do you agree with that amount?
No, I don't agree with that amount.
What do you think the amount is?
I had made a payment. She's also attaching to the total amount of the rent, the amount of the utilities, and a portion of the utilities, I believe, is inaccurate, if not all of it, because I made a payment to her regarding that total.
Thank you, Kane.
And then majority portion of the balance, I had contacted SCR for assistance, and they told me to allow up to 30 days. And I also seeked out for legal aid, and I spoke to Kimberly, and I'm waiting for intake. But the amount that she is requesting, I do believe that is incorrect.
Have you two talked about this at all?
No, the total rent is $4,790, and the utility is like $1,361.78. I don't remember exactly, like more than $500 is electricity. That one's still there, and it's like from last.
Ma'am. First of all, I think we're having a hard time with the recorder picking up what you're saying. And then secondly, my question was very direct. Have you two talked about this at all?
We talked before the last court. Afterwards, we haven't talked about it.
I see. Okay. Ms. Zerker, when did you say you have an appointment?
I am supposed to be, I talked to Kimberly, and she said someone will call me back for intake. I did let them know that I have a hearing today at 2 p.m. And she did say it was busy, that she would try to get attorney assigned, but I still haven't been reached for intake.
Did you have an appointment with Hawk, ma'am?
I applied for SCR, and I am going to reach out to Hawk because I was just made aware of that within 24 hours that was an option to me. I'm still trying to seek out my resources.
All right, I'm going to ask that the parties provide me with a breakdown of what they believe the rent is versus utilities. And return here on April 26th. If you have counsel at that time, you may obviously proceed with counsel, but I'm just adjourning it 1 week for that. And you should have appointments scheduled by that time as well.
Can I ask one question to the
Yes,
tenant? In tenant's application, She said, she has her own home. Is 10914 Grove.
Ma'am, you're echoing. There's something wrong with your system there.
I said, in pending the application, she has her own home. She has a home. I don't know why if she has no money to pay me, why she cannot move back to her home. She owned a house. My tenant owned the.
Ma'am, that's not a question. That's a statement. And you're trying to tell her that she should move now, and I haven't ruled on that. So, like I said, this case is adjourned to April 26th at 1:30 p.m. I'm keeping it in this, well, actually, I'm gonna make this at 3:30 p.m. I'm keeping it on in the same month so that the rent doesn't go up. And she's trying to get legal counsel because she's saying that you're putting utilities on there that you're not entitled to.
Ooh.
Okay, so April 26th at 1 p.m.
At 3:30 p.m., ma'am.
1:30.
3:30 p.m.
Okay, 3:30. Sorry.
That's okay. Thank you.
How you no pay?
Thank you.
Why you no pay?
McKinley Properties versus Christy Robbins. And
Oh
Blair
boy,
Robbins, case number
we got
23C
goodies.
0814.
We got goodies. Listen, you know what? Sometimes I just got ish to do, man. Why are you locking me up? I got ish to do. And so does this guy. Let's watch.
Then you turn it those ways, right? I'll do that next time.
All right, Gordon Devine. Mr. Devine, you are charged with a state jail felony delivery of marijuana with a bond amount of $5,000. And then you have a felony out of Bastrop County. This is a bond forfeiture for failing to show up for court on a possession of controlled substance charge in Bastrop County. You have no bond on that. The district judge there has denied bond. In order to get a bond set, your attorney would need to go talk to the district judge in Bastrop County, and it would be up to that judge whether to give you another opportunity to bond out. So,
well, they messed up on my paperwork, so I didn't know what they was. The lady told me that when they had Corona, she told me, she said, the officer messed up on your paperwork. He sent you to the wrong facility. Cause when I got pulled over, he took me to the federal instead of taking me to the regular jail. And then they let me go. They gave me the paperwork. She didn't give me no paperwork.
well, how long ago was that?
That was some years ago.
Okay, well, the case got indicted. I talked to Bastrop County District Clerk's office to clarify what was going on. The case got indicted earlier this year, and you had a court date just last month that apparently they're saying you missed. So
I didn't even know, because I didn't get no paperwork.
Then you'll need to have your attorney go talk to the district judge in Bastrop County to try to explain the situation. The district judge has the discretion to reinstate the old bond, but it's a matter that needs to be addressed with that district judge.
Yeah, because it was a lady. She didn't give me no paperwork or nothing. She just told me that that the dude messed up on your paperwork, and just be look on the internet to see if you got a warrant out for Bastrop. If you don't or nothing, then you should be good. So I kept checking and everything, and that's all I could do was check, because that's what she told me to do, was just check for it. And that's all I've been doing. And I didn't know I had something. If I did, I would have went down there and took care of it.
Do you want a court-appointed attorney?
What is, I guess, I don't.
Do you have, you've not hired a lawyer then, have you?
I just got, I don't know nothing.
So you want us to give you a free lawyer?
Yeah.
Okay, and you want a court-appointed attorney in Bastrop County as well?
I guess so, because if they messed up on my paperwork, I need to know what's going on.
So
All right,
I'm going to let Bastrop County know that you're requesting a court-appointed lawyer. That court-appointed lawyer should reach out to you in the next couple of days. You could talk to them about what happened, and they can go talk to the district judge and try to get your old bond reinstated.
Well, okay, so what about me working and stuff? Like right now, I'm supposed to be, I don't even know what's today, but I'm supposed to be at work. I work Wednesday.
I don't have a great
Thursday.
solution to that because the district judge, this is a bond forfeiture case on a felony, and the district judge in Bastrop County has the discretion to deny bond, and they've chosen to do that. So in order to address that and try to get that judge to change that decision, your attorney needs to go talk to them. Now, you can wait for your court-appointed attorney to reach out to you in the next couple of days. You can also hire a lawyer to go talk to the district judge. You can do that today, but that's something that'd be up to you to do.
But I'm trying to figure out how, if they messed up putting me in the wrong jail cell. They put me in the federal instead of putting me in regular jail. That's what and the lady said that too. She said, why the lawman put you up in here instead of bringing you to the regular jail cell?
I don't have any answer for that because I don't know anything about it. I'm just telling you that those issues have to be addressed to the district judge in Bastrop.
Okay, well, do you know how long I'm gonna be here? Because I'm trying. I got child support to go do, and I got shit to do. I gotta go to work.
Well, you can talk to your lawyer will reach out to you in the next couple of days, and you could try and see what they could do to assist you in bonding out of jail, both in Bastrop and in here.
Well,
now,
they said I was supposed to be here for 10 days, and then if Bastrop don't pick me up, then I gotta get released.
If once the case in Travis County is resolved, then Bastrop will be contacted and the 10 days will start. So the 10 days doesn't start yet because you have a felony here in Travis County as well. And so you're being held in the Travis County jail on a Travis County charge as well as a Bastrop County charge. So once the Travis County charge is resolved, then Bastrop County would be contacted to come pick you up. So
okay, so marijuana is a charge though?
Delivery of marijuana, that's correct.
I actually, the marijuana, they ain't got me on camera.
I don't want you to talk about the facts of the case. I know you have your side of the story.
I'm just saying that
I don't want you to say any, look, you don't understand. Let me explain.
I'm just saying.
Listen to me. This is a recorded proceeding, and I don't want you to make any statements about the case. You need to discuss that with your lawyer. I cannot discuss those facts without your lawyer present, and that's for your protection, because whatever you say can be used against you. I know you have your side of the story, but that's something that I can't get into right now. You need to talk to your lawyer about that.
All right.
Okay. So your court-appointed attorney will reach out to you in the next couple of days. In the meantime, if you want to try to hire a lawyer, you're welcome to do that.
Nah, I'm trying to get out and go to work. I got shit to do.
Okay. All right. Good luck.
Whatever.
Carlos Garcia.
You can't make it up. You can't make it up. Oh God. Oh, Rick Russell, it's raining memberships. Grab your membership. Okay, here we go. Let's do it. Oh, all right, let's go. Judge Simmons, this poor judge. This poor judge. The defendant she had in her courtroom today, or Zoom. Oh my God. It was great. Great for us, bad for her. Let's roll.
If you cannot afford to hire an attorney, you can make a request to have the public defender's office appointed at the expense of the public. You understand your right to counsel?
Yes, Your Honor.
Oh
okay.
boy.
Is he requesting public defender office for representation? Yes. Okay, Mr. Jackson, you have the right to remain silent. Anything that you say, anything you put in writing can be used against you. You have the right to plead guilty. You have the right to plead not guilty, and you have the right to stand mute. You have the right to proceed to a preliminary examination in this matter. You have the right to have that examination within 21 days of your arraignment day. That's today's date. At the time of examination, you have the right to have the prosecution meet their burden, which is to establish that they have sufficient probable cause that a crime was committed and probable cause sufficient to charge you with that crime. Your 21-day timeline can only be extended if you waive the 21 days or if the court finds good cause to go beyond that 21 days for your preliminary examination. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, you have the right to have a trial in this matter, and you have the right to jury trial. At the time of jury trial, you have the right to the presumption of innocence. So you enjoy the presumption of innocence until proven guilty. You have the right to have the prosecution put forth enough evidence to prove each element of the charges being brought against you beyond a reasonable doubt at trial before you are deemed to be guilty. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. You have the right to confront, question, or cross-examine any other witnesses the prosecution intends to call against you at trial. You have the right to call your own witnesses to trial or present evidence that you
It's
believe will further
HumpSday,
defense to
Roseanne.
this charge.
HumpSday.
You have the right to be considered the pretrial release from custody. We'll address your bond in just a moment.
Your Honor, I would like to say something.
Sure.
Yes, ma'am. My name is Demetrius Jackson Sr. This case with these 2 charges and 1 more charge.
Mr. Jackson, I don't want you to go on record and say anything that what can be used against you later, even if I know what you're saying is truth, but we can't.
I would like to say it is not going to.
Yes, but today it suffices to say you just tell the court that you're pleading not guilty.
Hump number 2.
Yes, but I would like to say something that's very important. So, ma'am, this charge was thrown out.
Mr. Jackson, if you can, I will address that when we get to bond, okay?
I know, but I want to
I have an order of acquittal, dismissal, or remand that was signed by Judge Buchanan back on December 2nd, 2021. It says that the case was dismissed without prejudice.
Yes, ma'am. I'm innocent.
Do you know what without prejudice means?
I thought without prejudice, my attorney told me that this case would never be brought back against me.
Well, you thought wrong, and I doubt that that's what your attorney said. And that's why I always explain in my court what without prejudice means, because it means that they can bring the case back against you. Okay?
Yes, ma'am. And I just wanted to let the judge know that I'm fully cooperative with the prosecutor to bring this case to justice. I'm completely innocent. I'm willing to take a lie detector test. I'm willing to take a urinalysis test, a blood test, whatever is necessary. I turned myself in when I found out that they reissued this warrant. I'm working with CMH. I have a caseworker at CMH that helped me to set up a time to come in and turn myself in. My caseworker is named Mike, and I'm fully cooperative. I've never missed a court date in my life.
John.
I've been to court plenty of times with the district court, and I am not running from nothing. I'll be to court early on time. But this charge, along with 2 other charges, took my employment from me, and I've been unemployed ever since these charges came about. But they just reissued a warrant the day I was released from the Ingham County Jail on March the 21st. A warrant was issued the next day I was released from jail for a misdemeanor, and I did time served. So I didn't know about this warrant till just recently, but I came down here and I turned myself in because I want to take care of this and prove my innocence and get this over with. I'm fully cooperative to any questioning, any lie detector test, whatever you need. I'm innocent. The person that you're looking for, I know who it is.
Okay, all right, Mr. Jackson, thank you. No, we'll finish with that. That's good though. Thank you.
Okay. The court will enter a plea of not guilty on your behalf.
Jesus.
You're currently scheduled for probable cause conference before Judge Cynthia Ward, Friday, April 28, 2023 at 9 o'clock in the morning. That can be via Zoom or you can appear in person, okay?
I'll appear in person, Your Honor.
Okay, very good. There's a preliminary examination scheduled before Judge Ward. That'll be in person at the court Friday, May 5th, 2023 at 8:30 in the morning. Did you get a notice to appear for her courtroom with those dates?
I have the dates 4/28/23 at 9 o'clock, and I have Friday 5/5/23 at 8:30. I'll be there early.
Give me just a moment.
TikTok, how good is this? Oh, and he's not even the best one in Simmons' court today. Oh. Guys, if you're not in the Discord, my moderators throw it up. If you're a court nerd, our Discord is unbelievable because there's engagement all day. I'm telling you.
Sir, you said you had other matters that were pending?
No more matters are pending. I was released from Ingham County Jail on March the 21st for a misdemeanor, ma'am. I got time served with Judge Buchanan. But the day after I was released at 10 o'clock p.m., This warrant was issued on the 22nd, I believe, of March.
Okay, so
I
you're
didn't
not
know
currently
about
on
it.
probation? You're not currently on probation or parole?
I'm completely free, ma'am. I'm completely free
Okay,
of
very
any
good,
kind of charge.
very good.
I'm gonna
What-
prove my innocence
What,
when I come
sir,
to court.
sir? Okay, what's your home address?
This is beautiful.
I'm using CMH, my caseworker, as my address for mailing purposes. 812 East
No, sir.
Jolly.
No, we're not mailing your court paperwork to CMH.
Okay, I'm staying with my girlfriend, and we're staying at 516 West Saginaw. We're engaged, and I have a newborn son that I'm helping her take care of that was born on March the 9th while I was incarcerated.
Okay.
516 West Saginaw, Your Honor.
Is there an apartment there?
Yes, ma'am, apartment number 12.
What's your girlfriend's name?
Tierra Hardister.
Oh.
We're
South
engaged.
Philly.
We're engaged.
Okay, sounds good. Are you employed, or did you say you lost your job as a result of this
I
charge?
lost two jobs out of 3 jobs. One job is seasonal, it's just through August. I work on campus, delivering college, it's called college combo sales. We deliver products on campus. It's just a seasonal job, twice a year for semesters.
Okay, sounds good.
That's
What's
the
your phone
only
number,
job I
sir?
had, but the other 2 I lost because I was incarcerated. I was working at Michigan State IPF. I was working at Michigan State IPF Custodial Services, and I was working at O'Reilly Auto Parts doing commercial driving.
I mean, listen, A for effort. If this guy was steered in the right direction when he was younger, probably would have made a good lawyer. Guy's making a good argument for himself. Conviction, engagement, eye contact. A for effort, dude. But you gotta fix those braids, bro.
I lost those 2 jobs.
What's your phone number?
517-214-0931 is my girlfriend's number. I just got a phone at CMH that was mailed to me. I'm just got my Medicaid information, and I'm working on my bridges with my caseworker. It's coming in the mail at their location, but that's my girlfriend's number.
Yours, Kitch.
I have a phone in my property right now that I just got yesterday. I don't know the number. I just got it yesterday.
Sounds good.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Sally, you can address bond.
Thank you, Your Honor. As Mr. Jackson has already stated, he did discover, he said he discovered this warrant when he went to his CMH case manager and turned himself in this morning. He is just getting out of jail after serving, getting 57 days, I believe, time served for assault and battery with Judge Buchanan. That happened before this was alleged to have occurred. I believe he did have some failure to appears. I have to correct, I guess, him on that because he did miss some court cases in that matter. That's why he just recently got sentenced and time served in March for it. But other than that, Your Honor, I don't believe that he is a flight risk. And he reports that he doesn't even know who the alleged victim is. Given that these are allegations from 2021, I don't believe there's been any further allegations. He doesn't have any other warrants for him, none on bond anywhere else. So if at all possible, like you said, he still needs to get back on his feet. So he did have a cash surety bond that he could not post last time he had this, but before it was dismissed at preliminary exam. So if the court could possibly give him personal recognizance, but if not, just anything that would be appropriate. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Was it dismissed because the witness failed to appear?
That part of it. There was also a possession charge on it that that was also dismissed and not reissued.
Got it. I don't see where he did not miss court on that file though.
You guys are harsh.
No, because he was in custody.
Okay, so it was the other matters that he just got released on, correct?
Yes.
Well, that doesn't work favorable for you, sir, because we want to ensure that you're going to return to court.
I promise I'll be the court. I turned myself in to take care of this, Your Honor. I got a newborn. I'm not running from anything. I stepped down here. I talked to my caseworker at CMH, let them know that this popped up. We called down to the courts yesterday and said I would turn myself in at 8 o'clock, and I came here at 7:15. I'm not running from anything.
This time.
I'm here to face this head on. I'm a man.
Ooh.
I'm not running from nothing.
I reviewed your prior criminal history. I don't see any assaultive
I'm non-violent, Your Honor.
convictions.
Yes, ma'am.
I don't see any assaultive convictions. I am going to grant the request for personal recognizance bond with a no contact order. Your bond will be set in the amount of
Michelle,
2,000 personal
Shaquille,
recognizance.
Trish,
While
what's
out
up,
on
people?
bond, sir, you're not to have any contact directly or indirectly with a Rachel Cavazos, which sounds like should be easy because it sounds like you don't believe you know her, okay?
Yes, ma'am. I'm here to
Not to be
cooperate fully, 100%, no
You're
problem.
not to be within 1,500 feet of wherever she lives, works, or goes to school. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am. I'm sure I will get this taken care of and my innocence will be secured.
Okay, thank you. And then
Yes.
you're not to engage in any assaultive or threatening behavior while you're out on bond. You're not to travel outside the state of Michigan unless you get approval from the court before you can leave. You're not to possess a firearm or any other dangerous weapon. You're not to use any alcohol or drugs unless you have a valid prescription. I'm going to order that you continue engaging with community mental health.
Yes, ma'am. I'm going to do that anyways. They're very helpful right now. My caseworker's been helping me out a lot. I'm doing Medicaid cards, My Bridges, and I just got a phone.
Okay, sounds good. You need to report to pretrial services within 48 hours of your release. You're going to report to them weekly, okay?
Where are they located?
You should have received information on how you can contact pretrial services. They're over at the circuit court though, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any
I have the
questions?
paperwork right here. No, ma'am.
Okay. Any additional matters for the record today, counsel?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
You're all set, Mr. Jackson.
Yes, ma'am.
That's all I have. Thank you.
Now, what I was saying, if you didn't, I saw Daylight disagreed with me. I was saying if he, back in the day, if he was raised the right way, he may have gone down a very good path with his speaking skills. Not saying now, Daylight. Come on, brother. We all know why he's there. He's pleading. All right, here we go. Let's get a little goat up in here. I dropped a video today because it was just so good. So if you guys have noticed, I have two types now. I do time served clips and time served live. So the clips, you don't hear me, you don't see me. It's for the people who hate listening to my voice but love my clips. And then I do live for my peeps every night. All right, and Saturday is 100%. We are doing Saturday afternoons again. So let's get rolling. Let's get the goat up in here. Who saw this today? Oh, this was great.
Samuel Peoples, Your Honor.
Oh, this was great.
Mr. Peoples, could you please unmute and state your full name?
Hi, Samuel Peoples.
Thank you. What are we doing?
Yes, similarly, Your Honor, we would request a short adjournment. I was not able to get in contact with Mr. Peoples. I need him to call our office and update his contact information. Previously, I believe a hideout plea was discussed, so I do need some time to discuss that with him and see if that's...
May 3rd, 2023, 9 a.m. Mr. Peoples, do you have the public defender's office number?
You've called it. Tell them you've already called it, Sam.
No, I don't think I have.
So I'm his mom. Currently,
Yes.
Sam is in a rehab because hit by a car on a skateboard and was in the ICU for 3 weeks. I've spoken to the defender's office. Samuel has called and left voicemails. And I have also spoken to the prosecutor side, and there's several notes within the chart from Christine Endler.
Do you have the phone number though?
That, yes, we have it. You
Okay,
have it. You've
okay,
called
ma'am,
several times.
ma'am. Here's what we're gonna do. Call the public defender's office, make sure they have the correct number And if you don't want to do it, ma'am, I'll talk directly to him. So don't shake your head when I'm talking to you.
He has
Call
called
them. I'll wait till you're done.
Okay, I have called directly. I have been present when my
Are you-
son called directly. I have my son's phone. He has text directly, and no one has responded to him.
I want
There
to
is
ask
also
to verify the
a-
phone number, but I called the phone number
Defense attorney.
repeatedly yesterday, the phone number that our office has on file, and I didn't receive any answer.
Right, he is in a rehab right now. This entire case, he went through probation
Can I
already for
just
6
get
months.
you to do one thing
community
for me?
help.
Ma'am, I realize that's your son. He has attorneys. So if I could just get you to do one thing, and that is just please call the public defender's office, make sure that the information that they have to contact you and your son is correct so that they can discuss it. My understanding is there may be a hide of plea on the table, which is greatly beneficial to your son. So you sitting here talking to me isn't going to do you much good until we can get this resolved.
Well, which number do you have for Samuel? Why don't you ask Sam what number
Well,
you have?
no, we're not going to put the number out. We're
Okay.
on YouTube, ma'am. I don't want it broadcast to the world unless you want everybody calling.
Well,
That's why
honestly,
we do it this way.
Sam has the defender's office number and he's called multiple times.
Okay,
I'm just.
ma'am, ma'am, I don't know you know what? Here's what we're going to do. Mr. Balpesi, guess what? You're the lucky one today. You get a breakout room because I'm done with this one. I'm going to put you into a breakout room. That way you can communicate whatever you need to communicate without mom putting all this business out in the street.
Thank you, Your Honor. I appreciate
Put him
it.
into a breakout room. May 3rd.
Thank you, Welsh.
May 3rd.
Go check out Welsh Network.
Court calls the case.
Oh, I feel bad for whoever was next in that one. Guys, that's Dan and Becca from WNN Welsh News Network. If you're not subscribed, make sure you get over to them. They are hysterical. Go in there. They stream longer than I do. They are savage when it comes to lives. Hysterical. You pop in anytime. It's laugh, funny things. And tomorrow is the big World Collide premiere of Mikey the Legend on Time Served tomorrow at 7:30. Do not miss it. I'm telling you, it's going to be great. And this is all leading up to something very big down the pipe in the very near future. Just brace yourselves for what is going to be happening. There's a reason why all of us are starting to gel together. It's coming. You're gonna love it. All right. Not as much as you're going to love the next couple clips. Judge Wendy, Mr. Mark Bronlick. Why don't you go to Chick-fil-A? Why don't you go to Wendy's? Why can't you go to a bouncy house? He was dealing with inmates today, and we love when he's dealing with inmates. Let's go to the videotape. Oh boy.
Court is now in session. Rachel Maloney versus Joseph Jackson.
The record, Mr. Jackson is before the court, having been arrested on a bench warrant issued by this court at the request of the front of the court. Mr. Jackson is appearing via Zoom from the Monroe County Jail. Also present this morning via Zoom is Monroe County front of the court attorney Rebecca Hicks. Good morning, Ms. Hicks.
Morning, Judge.
Good morning. You are Joseph Darnell Jackson. Is that correct, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
What's your current address?
203 Wild Haven Drive, Monroe, Michigan, 48161.
Thank you. Mr. Jackson, you were arrested also on a...
Checking baby time's homework at the same time.
Numerous outstanding bench warrants. Is that correct? For different jurisdictions?
Yes, Your Honor. I've already talked to those counties. I was just told to make payments to their courts, which I just got back into the union. I mean, we was on union seasonal layoff from October to April. We just got back into the union. I had a job prior to this, that I was paying, I paid child support 2 or 3 times with these checks, and also health insurance I was paying, but then I lost that job and just got back into the union. I just now started working back again. I have one check since I've been back in the union that's I was gonna pay. They said it was $1,000 bond. I was gonna pay for that. That was my rent for this month. I just got a house as well. Like, I'm trying to do what's right. I'm trying to get back on track and take care of my responsibilities. But it's just, I can't catch up to these warrants and these fines to pay them off before I end up going back to jail and losing everything again. This was the problem the last time I was before you. I ended up losing my job and my house, and it was hard to get a job. I didn't have a car anymore. So I'm
Mr.
just
Jackson, it's really simple. If you owe moving violation tickets to other courts, contact them and work out a payment schedule. When you ignore it, that's when
I just did that when I just did that when I got my job back. They told me to make the payment. So with all the other counties, I have this.
You did that this morning?
No, sir. No. This is about last week when I got my check.
Right. The information the court has, there's outstanding bench warrants from about 4 different jurisdictions. So obviously, if you took care of those, they would still be outstanding. And you obviously did not get in contact with the Monroe County front of the court, because otherwise this bench warrant would have been pulled.
Yes, sir.
What's the situation on Mr. Jackson?
Your Honor, in this matter, there's a current monthly child support obligation of $130 per month. The arrears balance today is $8,343.25. It does appear as if we received the last payment on March 8th of this year in the amount of $40.
I'm sorry, you froze up, Ms. Six. The last payment was in March of this year, and what amount?
$45.63.
Okay.
And also $106 was for health insurance. I paid. I was there on my health insurance as well.
Well, that was paid to another source. That's not to the front of the court. But in any event, you only paid a portion of a month. Ms. Six, what's your recommendation this morning?
Your Honor, Mr. Jackson also does have a previous finding of contempt. It is from June 3rd of 2015. It is a first finding, and he does have a 35-day balance hanging over his head. However, because the court has indicated that he is facing a new criminal charge, as you are aware, we often don't like to waste any of our jail time if he is potential to face jail time on that new criminal charge. He was arrested yesterday and would be entitled to 2 days jail credit. So the front of the court would not be opposed to 35 days jail to immediate credit for the 2 that he has served, and set a short review date so that we can monitor the status of his incarceration, or if he is back to being work payment on this obligation going forward.
Right, that sounds like a plan. What's your suggested review date, Ms. Six?
Your Honor, I would be looking at June 6th at 8 a.m.
All right, so Mr. Jackson, the court's going to cancel your bench warrant here. You'll be released on a personal bond. Okay, just listen. If you listen to Ms. Hicks, you have 35 days to have your head. So this is what the court's going to do. The court's going to order you to serve 35 days in jail as follows. 2 days, I'm going to give you credit for the 2 days you have served. You still got 33 days to have your head. So your bench will be canceled. You'll be released on a personal bond in this matter. You're ordered to appear before Ms. Hicks on June 6, 2023 at 8 a.m. for review.
Okay.
So you need to get back to work. So you need to take care of these other bench warrants. Now, this is not going to stop you. And Mr. Jackson, once again, I've said this, I'll say it again. If in fact you have arrears, you got $8,000 arrears, they're not going to go away. If you're not making the full payment of $130 a month, you need to talk with the front of the court caseworker and say, I've got these problems. I've got some health issues. I broke my leg. I'm laid off, whatever. We'll work with you. Just don't ignore it. When you ignore it, that's when bench warrants issued.
Yes, sir.
Do you have any questions?
No, sir. I appreciate your time and thank you so much for your leniency.
All right. Keep in mind, you've got 33 days to have your head. So you hold the key to the jail. You can avoid any additional jail by simply paying your child support. And if you're not paying the full amount, then you need to talk with the front of the court and let them know what's going on.
Okay. Since I have you here right now, who do I talk to about to get some sort of motion? Because 2 of the kids that's on my order right now aren't biologically mine, and they are with their biological fathers now. So who do I need to talk to with this?
It's a little bit late. You can file a motion to talk to an attorney. You can talk to the front of the court case where maybe they give you a form. It's called motion to revoke paternity. But again,
Okay.
the fact that you've been sitting on this for 10 years, it's you got to do that within a specific time frame, Mr. Jackson.
Yes, sir.
So in any event, that's another issue for another day. But yes, obviously investigate that. Talk with a caseworker. Go online.
Okay.
Get forms. File a motion. All right.
Yes,
Any other questions, Mr. Jackson?
No, sir. Thank you. I appreciate your time.
And you got to appear before Miss 6 on June 6th at 8:30. If you don't appear, a bench warrant will issue. And you
Yes, Mr.
pay
Peters
between them.
gave me a memorandum.
Got my card.
All right, he's a good man. Thank you, Deputy Peters.
You're welcome, Your Honor.
Okay, you're all set, Mr. Jackson. You can step out. A copy of this order will be faxed over to the jail. You get a copy before you release.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
Okay, we are coming back to Braun Lake because he had another one. We're going to go back to the well on this one because I want to show you this one from Simmons. I got this from Miss Rose Loosey Goosey. She's been sending me unbelievable clips. I don't even have enough time to get all the clips that she's sending me. Thank you, Miss Rose. You're the best. So we're going to play this one. Oh, boy, poor Judge Simmons. Here we go. Oh, and I got a bonus one in the beginning from, I think it was Thurston, and then Miss Rose had emailed me, and I hopped over to that real quick. So it's 2 for 1 on this clip. Here we go.
Just need to unmute, and then I can hear you.
I found it. Yay! Unmute.
Okay, you're with us now.
Yay!
All right, we got
Good morning.
Mr. Pastor
Good
here.
morning.
Good morning. And we are at a pretrial. I don't think we've set any dates yet. Oh, today would be day number 1 on a 90-day clock. It's our first notice, first appearance since that new order. So, Mr. Pazderka?
Your Honor, this time we're just asking trial dates to be set, and I would ask for one more pretrial to be set in between.
Isn't Pezderka rugged looking? Doesn't he remind you of Clive Owen? It's attorney Clive Owen.
Now on the trial dates, I think there's a potential resolution. I just need to have further discussions with the prosecutor.
Okay. So you got that as day number 1 on 90. Okay. So what I'm gonna get trial dates set, and Mr. Pazderka, when you're ready, just contact the court and set on what you need to set on. But we'll just get confirmation jury date set. Mr. Langevin, then I'm sending notice by mail to
It's Langevin. I'm sorry. My name is Langevin. It's Mr. Langevin.
Langevin. I got
Correct.
it. You're gonna have to
Thank
remind
you.
me next time too. Langevin. Thank you.
So nice.
All right, so Mr. Langevin, I'm gonna send notice to a Tumwater address, 402 B as in boy Street Southwest.
Correct. Yes, that's
Okay.
the address.
And did you get the text message reminder?
No, I don't think I did. I just, but there again, I missed things. Yeah.
Okay.
So
So would you like a text message reminder?
yes, please.
Okay, what phone number should we use?
Oh my goodness, I can't. The one I'm on, I don't know the number for sure. I have a terrible time with these kind of things.
Let's see, we've got a number here. Let me see if
He's
you'll recognize
classic.
it. It's
Okay.
360 819
No, that's
3790.
no.
Nope. We'll erase
But
that.
I've got my caretaker's number. Would that do?
Well, whatever works for you.
Okay, that was 360-889-7937.
555.
All right, we'll send a text
5555.
message reminder there.
Okay.
And any questions going forward, you talk to Mr. Pazderka, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Thanks. Have a good day.
I saw you got congratulations on a wedding. Congratulations. And have a good day.
All right, thanks. See ya.
Bye.
All right,
Yes.
Mr. Pazderka, any other
He's
clients?
definitely not a hump. Here we go. Hump number 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
County, State of Michigan, that you did allegedly contrary to law commit the act in count 1 of police officer assaulting, resisting, and obstructing. The allegation is that you did assault, batter, wound, resist, obstruct, oppose, or endanger Officer Caitlin Miller, a police officer of the Lansing Police Department that you knew or had reason to know was performing her duties, and that this was done contrary to Michigan Compiled Law 750.8 1D1. That's a felony, sir, and the maximum penalty is 2 years and or $2,000 in fines. A consecutive sentence may be imposed under MCL 750.506A if the assault was committed in a place of confinement, or under MCL 750.81D6 for another violation arising from the same transaction. There is a count 2 of attempted police officer assaulting, resisting, and obstructing. The allegation there is that you did attempt to commit the following listed offense, and in the attempt did act towards the commission of that offense, but failed in the perpetuation or was prevented in the execution thereof. That this was contrary to MCL 750.92. That is, that you allegedly assaulted or attempted to assault, batter, wound, resist, obstruct, oppose, or endanger Officer Ethan Merlick, a police officer of the Lansing Police Department that the defendant knew or had reason to know was performing his duties, and this was done contrary to MCL 750.81D1. That's a misdemeanor, maximum penalty 1 year and or $1,000 in fines. Upon conviction of an attempted felony, the court shall order or may order, it says shall, the court shall order law enforcement to collect DNA identification profiling samples. There's a count 3 of trespassing. It says that you did remain without lawful authority to remain on the lands and premises of the CATA after being notified to depart, therefore, by CATA Security, who was the agent or the owner of said land or premises, and that this was done contrary to MCL 750.552. That's a misdemeanor. Maximum penalty is 30 days in jail and or $250 in fines. Sir, do you understand the charges there and the penalties attached to each of the charges?
Yes, I do.
Okay. You have the right to be represented by counsel. Ms. Donnelly from the Public Defender's Office is representing you for the purposes of your arraignment today, but you have the right to have an attorney represent you at each stage of the criminal prosecution, and you have the right to have an attorney represent you if you're questioned by law enforcement. If you cannot afford to hire your own attorney, you can make a request to have the Public Defender's Office appointed to represent you at the expense of the public. Do you understand your right as it relates to representation in court?
Yes, I do.
Okay, is he making a request for court-appointed counsel?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Harris, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say, anything you put in writing can be used against you. You have the right to plead guilty, you have the right to plead not guilty, and you have the right to stand mute. You have the right in this matter to proceed to a preliminary examination because count 1 in this matter is a felony. The time of your preliminary examination, you have the right to have the prosecution establish that they have sufficient probable cause that a crime was committed and probable cause sufficient to charge you with that crime. You have the right to have a preliminary examination within 21 days of your arraignment date. That's today's date. And at the time, that date can only be changed if you waive the 21-day timeline or if the court finds good cause to go beyond the 21 days. Do you understand those rights so far, sir?
Say yes. Shook my head yes.
Okay, I need to hear you.
All you gotta know, I just shook my head yes.
Yeah, I can't hear a shake.
Okay, you can see me though.
Here, do you hear me?
Yes, I do.
Okay, do you understand what I've said to you so far?
Said yes. Over and over
Thank you.
again.
Use your words.
Use your words. She said use your words.
We're off
I
the
don't even
record.
say that and I teach kids. Oh God.
Our computer is shut down. Give me just a moment.
Come on, guys. He epitomizes HumpSday.
Yeah,
Oh.
I mean, I just said hello. Y'all can stay out of my courts. I'll sit back down to your own thing. I just talked to my, I talked to my,
Settle down, Mr. Harris.
they just said something to me. I said something back.
I
They're
said
running
settle
back.
down.
They're always telling me to settle down. They doing their thing by getting them into my business.
What's up, Blooded? Welcome.
Stretch.
Awkward. Doesn't he look like Mr. Potato Head? Like his eyes look like Potato Head eyes, like just the eyes. He doesn't look like Mr. Potato Head, but you know the eyes from Mr. Potato Head, right? His eyes are real close, like Mr. Potato Head, and the nose. He looks like just face Mr. Potato Head. I don't know. It's just me. Am I right? I'm sick of these people.
Okay, we're back on the record. Okay, now, Mr. Harris, you have the right to proceed to a trial in this matter. You have the right to a jury trial at the time of trial. You have the right to the presumption of innocence. So you're innocent until the prosecution can prove you guilty. You have the right to have them prove each element of the charges being brought against you beyond a reasonable doubt at trial. You understand those rights?
Bubs from the wire.
Yes, I do.
Okay. You have the right to see, hear, or question any other witnesses the prosecution intends to call. You have the right to call your own witnesses or present evidence at trial that you believe would further a defense to these charges. You have the right to remain silent at trial and not have silence be used against you. You have the right to be considered for pretrial release from custody. We'll address your bond in just a moment. But do you have any questions about your rights at this time?
No, I don't.
Do you have a home address, sir?
I did, but I don't know if it's still working out. So,
You don't know if it's still working out? Where were you staying?
The toy box.
I was staying at the Mission.
Doesn't even get.
Okay, the one at 607 East Michigan?
Right over there in Kalamazoo Mall.
Okay. Do you have a phone?
No, I don't.
Okay. Are you currently on probation?
I'm not. I think I'm not. No, I'm not on probation no more.
Okay. For the purposes of his arraignment, is he pleading not guilty?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, one moment. Ms. Till, can I put you and Ms. Jackson in a private meeting room?
You can, Your Honor. Thank you.
You and Jackson. I'll put her in room 1.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, I did.
Okay. Well, on file number ending in 778, that would have been the second time.
Your Honor, he did report that he has seizures and he was in the hospital.
But I did have a seizure. Yes. I did not forget, but I did have a seizure. So I went straight to, they took me straight to the hospital right then and there. And I just tried to get back to y'all when I got out the hospital. Yes.
You were in the hospital. So you were in the hospital on the 17th?
Yes.
Okay. And so you also failed to appear on file number 778 back in March. So that would have been the second time you failed to appear on that file.
No.
When did you get released from the hospital, sir?
Wait, I said the same thing. Chapstick. He needs Aquaphor. He's way past chapstick.
17, yeah.
On the same day?
Yes.
Okay, why didn't you contact the court then?
I did go to the courts, but it was early, not early, but late. And they said it was over. It was all over.
Oh, Ginger.
I remember going to the last point of it.
You spoke to someone at the courts, they said it was all over,
Yes.
and they didn't give you a new court date?
No, they did not.
Oh.
I think they told me, but I did not remember that either. Yes.
Gotcha. You can address bond counsel.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Harris reports that he's essentially living on the streets. And that he has some health problems. He does also have other dates with court just as soon as he has pretrial conferences on Monday. So given those, Your Honor, those circumstances, he's also not working or receiving Social Security at this time. We would just be asking for an appropriate bond based on his circumstances. Thank you.
Thank you. Bond and file number ending in 778 will be set at $100 cash surety. Bond and file number 23-01042 will be set at $100 cash surety. Bond and file number 23-01245.
That's what I said, Debbie. Right on.
Will be set in the amount of $500 cash surety. While out on bond, sir, you need to make sure you appear to all your future court dates. You're not to engage in any assaultive or threatening behavior. You're not to use any drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. You're not to travel outside the state without approval of the court. You're not to possess a firearm or any other dangerous weapon. And you need to report to pretrial services within 48 hours of your release from custody on that. Do you understand?
Yes, I do.
You have any questions today?
I do not.
Okay, you're all set. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bravo. Bravo.
Just need to unmute and then I can hear you.
Bravo, Miss Lucy. Bravo. Here we go. Let's get some Judge Brian up in here. This video must have hit the algorithm today because I got like almost, last time I checked, it was like a lot of views. And I posted it just today. It was great. Classic Bryant. Let's roll. Here's another time served tidbit. I don't know if you guys ever had YouTube Enhancer on Chrome. That's what you see on the bottom there. It's an extension. If you're a court nerd, it boosts the volume, better picture, manages everything. It's great. YouTube Enhancer. Just type it in your Google search. It makes the YouTube experience so much better.
Judge, it looks like her device is not connecting. All right, I'm gonna, Ms. Stevenson, you spoke to Ms. Bradford in the breakout room, and now she's laying in the bed, attending court. That's so unacceptable and so ridiculous. I don't even know what to say. That's so unacceptable and ridiculous. I'm sending her back to the breakout room. Ms. Ritter, can you call Ms. Griffin? Do you have a phone number?
5 minutes later.
The defendant is charged with 3 counts of assault or assault and battery. Today is the date set
for pretrial conference as to each. Appearances, please.
For the record, Your Honor, Christina Ritter on behalf of the people.
Janice Stevenson appearing on behalf of Ms. Micah Bradford. Ms. Bradford, ma'am, please unmute and tell the judge your full name.
Micah Michelle Bradford.
How are we proceeding?
Your Honor, on behalf of Ms. Bradford, we would first offer the court an apology for Ms. Bradford's prior appearance at the time that this case was initially called. Ms. Bradford, without offering this as an excuse, just wants the court to know she was not lying in bed. She was on her bed trying to charge her phone. That won't happen again. She'll charge her phone.
She was laying in the bed. I don't care what she was doing in the bed. She was clearly laying in the bed. One thing I'm for certain of is that wherever Miss Bradford is, there is a plug that is not at the bed that she could have charged her phone and not be lying in the bed. Second of all, once the court brought to her attention that she was lying in the bed, everybody else that I've ever came in contact with on the Zoom court that was uninformed enough to come to court in the bed would get up out of the bed when the judge says, you're in the bed. Second of all, the apology should have probably extended from my first encounter with Miss Bradford. Bradford, but you wouldn't have known it because you, I think, was in the breakout room when I had to go into the breakout room with Miss Bradford and admonish her to never speak to me again in the manner that she continued to speak to me, even when she saw that I was the judge. Okay, so anyway, continue, Ms. Stevenson, but she was laying in the bed. Laying in the bed. She was laying down in a bed.
I said
ma'am, Miss Stevenson, this because anything you say probably is not going to work out good for you. Miss Stevenson.
Thank you, Your Honor. So Ms. Bradford, ma'am, if you could just listen attentively to what the court's saying. Your Honor, we don't offer anything, again, as a way, by way of excuse. We just want the court to know that we did have a conversation with Ms. Bradford, that we've had communication with her prior to today's appearance, Your Honor, and this morning, and we would like the court to have our assurances that we are trying to assist Ms. Bradford in having a successful court appearance. On behalf of Ms. Bradford, we would move for dismissal for the complainant's failure to appear.
Ms. Ritter?
Judge, it's the first scheduling for both cases, and I'm going to respectfully request.
I'm glad you said that, and before you respectfully request, are these matters properly on the court's docket for pretrial conference? They're a little older cases.
Is that a question for the people, Judge?
For anybody who has access to the register of action.
I do not, Judge.
Just looking at the some of the information I have about the case, Your Honor, about the cases, I do believe these cases are properly on this court's docket.
No, not on my docket, I mean, but on the docket for pretrial conference.
Oh, I would say I have an arraignment date with no prior capious history, Your Honor, on March 1st of 2023.
For both cases?
Yes, Your Honor.
That seems weird. Okay, Mr. Flanagan, can you just confirm that? But all right, so Ms. Ritter, I interrupted you when you said you would respectfully request.
Yes, Judge. So the people respectfully request, if this is correctly set for pretrial conferences for both cases, we respectfully request the court to adjourn both cases for pretrial conference to give the complainant witnesses one more opportunity to appear. They are older cases, Judge, so the people would just like an opportunity to try to locate the complainant witnesses.
Today is the day set for pretrial conference as to each matter. The court is going to deny defense counsel's motion for dismissal, grant the people's request for an adjournment to give them an opportunity to attempt to locate the complaining witness. Complaining witnesses. The court will set the pretrial conference for Wednesday, June 14th. At 8:36. The complaining witnesses are required to appear. Failure of the complaining witnesses to appear will most likely result in the matters being dismissed unless the people have a valid explanation as to why they cannot appear. Additionally, Ms. Bradford has to come in person. Ms. Bradford is having extreme difficulty in attending court properly. She currently has her hands on her hips. She is not sitting in an upright position as instructed by the court earlier. Perhaps I believe she may have come into the court Zoom late after the instructions were given. And I'm having a difficult time dealing with Ms. Bradford's difficult time appearing via Zoom.
She's the last one.
Mr. Flanagan, mute the courtroom.
Can I just say with the, I don't want to interrupt you, but just the standing up part, that's the only part I'm going to talk about. That may be my fault because when we were in breakout room, I thought it would be better, rather than leaning on the counter to just stand up. What I've said to Brad,
I agree.
Like you're at the podium. So
yeah, okay, I agree. My point wasn't really to.
Okay.
And maybe I said sitting, and I didn't. Maybe I said sitting. My issue wasn't necessarily with the standing, because standing is what they do at the podium. My issue was with her hands on her hips. And then in response to me addressing the hands on the hips, then she folded her hands in front of her arms, and folded her arms in front of her. But nonetheless, I don't know what to tell you, Ms. Bradford. I don't know I don't know what to tell you. You're standing at the podium before the judge, and you just stand with your hands beside you, and you don't yell at the judge, and you don't roll your eyes at the judge, and you don't smack your lips at the judge, I don't know. I don't know what else I can say as to how a person is supposed to appear in court. And perhaps my expectations are high, that I believe that the average person should know that when they come to court, they don't yell at the judge. They don't smack their lips at the judge. They don't roll their eyes at the judge. They don't lay in the bed when they come to court. Those are things that I believe people should automatically know, but I could be incorrect. And since I must be incorrect, I'm trying my level best to instruct you on how to appear in court. Now, you can receive the instruction or not, but if you do not know how to appear in court properly on Zoom, then I want to draw your attention to the fact that that courtroom right there is open to every defendant that has a case before the court. And you could come into the courtroom and you could stand at that podium and you could have your matter heard. But if you are going to come on Zoom, you are going to come appropriately. And you're not going to treat me like I have done something to you. You're not going to treat me like I arrested you, like I brought charges against you. You're not going to yell at me again. And you're not going to attend court inappropriately. It's just not going to happen. Okay. So like I said, the matter is adjourned to June 14th at 8:36. And if and the complaining witnesses are required to appear. And if Ms. Bradford needs to come in person in order to attend court properly, then she needs to appear in person. Anything further with respect to this matter?
Not from the people, Judge. Thank you.
Nothing on behalf of Ms. Bradford. Thank you very much, Your Honor.
Oh, that was great. That was great. Let's get to the main events. Let's get to the rats. Oh boy, and then we're gonna get to my girl Kitch's TPO that she so kindly shared with me today. Oh boy, let's do it. Where is the rats? Oh God, where is it? Oh, are you kidding me? Oh, here we go. Okay, here we go. And it was in Judge Washington's court, so you know it was good. Judge Washington, she's been having some people on her docket lately. Oh boy, oh boy. So what this is this guy owns a pet shop, Mr. Stuart Collins, the bottom right. And he owns some other kind of store. I was working when I was listening to it. And he needs to clean it up because there are rats. And this is the hearing to, I guess, clean it up. I didn't listen to it either. So I like listening to these main events just so I watch them for the first time with you two. Let's go.
Anyone else that's present on that case, please unmute, state your name.
My name is Stuart Collins.
Thank you. Mr. Collins, you're here today on two tickets, one for Blight. It has a date of offense of
Blight, that was it.
March 27th, 2023. And the second one is for a zoning violation for storefront window being damaged. That is March 27th, 2023. Also, the blight indicates that there was blight and I can't read that other writing, something creating a rodent harboring area. So those are the allegations today, sir. I understand that you went into a breakout room with Mr. Greenwood on this matter and maybe someone else from the township. And it sounds like we don't have a resolution. I am not privy to the conversation, obviously, that occurred in the room. Mr. Greenwood, was there an offer that was made that you want to place on the record today so that we can clarify as to whether or not Mr. Collins is rejecting that offer?
There's not an offer at this time. I believe there's some.
Guys, if you don't know what blight is just an ordinance for unattractive areas, hazardous. It's just, I guess, just a kind word. B-L-I-G-H-T, blight.
Dispute as to what is considered blight and why the tickets were issued. Some of the reasons why the tickets were issued have been corrected. However, there's still additional work that needs to be done. So I was looking to have an order entered.
Mr. Burnett.
Welcome,
so
Rainey.
Mr. Collins, apparently there's no offer at this time because there's some dispute over what is considered blight and what's not considered blight. They don't consider the place remedied and they're requesting an order be entered. Are you requesting a hearing at this time to go forward? They want to get an order issued. You're entitled to have a hearing to determine whether or not they're entitled to such an order. Do you want to have a hearing?
Your Honor, I don't understand all that. First of all, I want to comply with the township. Okay, we did have a rat problem. I made a lot of effort into getting in compliance, and I think I'm in compliance right now. There is an issue about the rat.
Sir. So they're
Okay.
saying not in compliance. So that's why if you want to have a hearing at this point, you need to determine whether you're having a hearing when I have to swear you in.
Okay, I do want to have a hearing.
Okay, all
I
right.
do want to have a hearing.
Mr. Barnett, he wants to have a hearing on this matter, so you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. We'll call Mr. Greenwood.
Thank you. Mr. Greenwood, please raise your right hand to be sworn. You swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to provide will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yep.
Thank you. You may lower your hand. You may proceed, Mr. Barnett.
Thank you. Sir, would you state your name and spell it for the record?
Sure. Thomas Greenwood, ThomasGreenwood.
What would your steps be? What would you do?
Initially, what we would typically do would issue a notice violation informing the owner of the property that there are some issues that need to be corrected to fit our ordinance. At that point, I would give a follow-up date as to how long I would be giving them to make the corrections. And then at that point, I would do a follow-up inspection. And if the property was not in compliance at that point, typically I would proceed with issuing tickets.
Okay. Are you familiar with the property located at 1254 Ecorse Road?
And
that's in Ypsilanti Township?
yes.
Okay. Did you have occasion to perform a type of inspection or investigation that you just outlined on that particular address?
Yes, so I was responding to a resident complaint.
Okay. When did you respond to that location?
1 second to pull it up. So initially, I went out to the property on 3/14 of 23.
Okay. What's located there?
There's two parcels of land with two different addresses. One would be the pet store, the other one was a pet grooming.
Okay. And who are the property owners?
I believe that the property owner is Stuart Collins, but I have it down as the owner is MICHLTDPTNSHP.
Okay. And the representative of that entity is, you believe, Stuart Collins?
I believe so. He's the person I've spoken to up to this point at the property.
Okay. When you went out on the 14th of March of this year, what were your observations, or what did you see?
Basically, initially, what I saw when I went out to the property is there was a number of violations. There was a number of items stacked up between the pet store and the shed that was back there. It looked like the shed had some issues where it wasn't necessarily weather tight, and there was also evidence or signs that it was a rodent harborage. There was also some damage to the lattice that was in the fence, and then there was also a number of temporary signs that or illegal signs that needed to be removed.
Okay. And were those things that you've just listed violation of township ordinance?
They were.
Okay. So what were your steps after making those observations?
So after the steps is I issued a notice of violation. I returned to the property on 3/22 and noted that there had been some corrections made. However, there still was more that needed to be addressed. At that point, I returned to the property again on the 27th and found that there were still issues again that remained, and there was a dispute as to what needed to be completed and what was considered outdoor storage and what was considered blight. And at that point, I issued a ticket, and then I was there one final time yesterday just to do a follow-up, just to check to see what had been done versus what still needed to be completed.
Okay, so let's focus on, at the time that you issued the tickets, what specifically were the violations?
So specifically, the violations at the time.
Just an update. Judge DeSanto is still live. They're in jury deliberation still. She wanted to get out of there at 6:30. I mean, there's nothing going on in the court, but it's still live. She's going to be very cranky tomorrow.
The tickets were issued were I'm going to pull up the photos right now.
And can you share those on your computer, share with the Zoom?
Yep. Okay, so here's some photos on the 27th when the date the tickets were issued. This is showing that sections of the shed, specifically right through here, showing evidence that that it was being a rodent harborage, again, through the door. Just multiple areas around the shed
Blight.
that were in disrepair, that were again creating a rodent harborage.
Oh, Blight.
And then this is some of the blight in question, or that's the areas being used as outdoor storage.
It doesn't look that messy though.
And is that outdoor storage area, are there rodent harborage issues related to that as well?
Yes, we believe so. We received an email from Orkin yesterday, and they performed an inspection sometime between April 6th and the 18th, and they submitted a report that states that the property is an active rodent infestation.
Okay. And any other issues at the time that you wrote the tickets?
I believe the only other one was actually under the 1270, and I believe that was the 1 second to pull that up also. So this is the photo showing that it's hard to tell, but there was a crack in the window right through here.
Thanks, Mike.
And so that was just showing that there was and that was
live.
the window in question that was damaged at the time of inspection.
Okay. And so that was the subject of the other ticket then?
Oh, one moment, sir.
It's quite blighty.
I think you still need to stop the screen share at this time.
Ypsilanti.
If we can help you, if you need help stopping it.
Yeah, it showed me. Oh, there it is. Perfect. Thank you.
There you go.
And what's the issue with the lattice and the fence?
So the lattice and the fence is, there's just sections of the lattice that is in disrepair. It's not an approved material anymore, but because it's existing, we were allowed to stay. It's to help block the line of sight for the surrounding neighbors. However, if it's going to stay, it must be consistent and in good condition throughout the fence line.
Okay. And you indicated that you subsequently went back yesterday to the property, is that correct?
Yes, I was at the property yesterday. I met the owner, Mr. Stuart Collins, at the property, just to take a look to see where they were at as far as compliance. Again, some things have been done. Some of the temporary signs have been removed. He did come up to get a permit for the one sign that he wishes to remain. However, that permit still hasn't been submitted, so that still needs to be addressed. There has been some work done to try to make the shed weather tight. However, given that the email that the report that we received from Orkin shows that there's still going to be some additional work that needs to be done. Along the fence line, he didn't necessarily replace the lattice, but he did put up a tarp. That tarp wouldn't be permitted if he does want coverage across that fence. Again, he can replace the damaged lattice, but it would have to be the same material. And then like I said, he has made some attempts to make this shed weather tight. However, there's still some work that needs to be done. And lastly, he's still using the exterior of the property as outdoor storage for it looked like some animal cages and some other debris that's or other items that are inside the chain link fence.
Okay, so what specifically would he need to do today going forward to bring the property into compliance?
Well, first off, he'll need to remove all the items that are being stored on the exterior of the property. His options would be either moving it into a shed, move it into one of the buildings, or removing it from the property. It can't sit out in plain sight. He'll still need to go out and he'll still need to finish his submitting his permit for the advertising sign, and he'll need to remove the tarp from the fence line and either replace the damaged lattice that is still remaining. I couldn't tell because it was behind the fence, or he would need to remove all lattice along the fence line. And lastly, do whatever's necessary to correct the rodent harborage that's happening in the shed. So either bring it up to the point where it's no longer creating a harborage, or have the shed removed.
Okay. Thank you. I don't think I have any other questions for you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions from you, Mr. Collins?
Yes, just some comment. I think Mr. Greenwood is understating.
You're gonna get an opportunity to testify in just 1 second.
Oh, Mr.
My
Collins is
question was,
classic.
did you have any questions for him?
Yes, I mean, this is the first time he's mentioned about the tarp. I mean, those lattices that I had.
You're making a statement again, sir. Do you have any questions for him?
Okay, I guess I don't, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Greenwood.
Thank
All
you.
right, Mr. Collins, it appears you want to testify, correct?
Yes.
Oh, boy.
Please raise your right hand to be sworn. Do you swear affirm testimony about the trial will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
All right, what would you like to say, sir?
I guess there's some discrepancy about the Orkin man.
Orkin man.
And I'm confused myself. While I was at my grandson's baseball game yesterday, an Orkin man came out by the name of Anthony Acosta, and he talked to my worker and said that we're all good as far as the rat, situation behind the shed. Mr. Greenwood is reporting that yesterday evening, a report came from Orkin saying that I still had a problem. So I'm not really sure what's going on with that. I used to work for Orkin, and any large corporation sometimes is not as efficient as a smaller operation. So I think I did have a rat problem, and I certainly don't want to be in any part of harboring rats in Ypsilanti Township. That's 100%. And I'm all for enforcing standards. So I don't want to come across here as some sort of scofflaw who thinks that laws shouldn't apply to him. But I think that right now, as my shop stands behind my pet shop, I'm very confident that it's not harboring rats. We did have a problem. I trapped some rats a few weeks ago. I admit that my storage area was a mess, and I've made a Herculean effort to clean it up. And that's the real area of the rat problem was around the shed. I'm 100% guaranteed. I'm very confident that that's the case. The rest of it is not blight. For one thing, none of the stuff can be seen at any point from residents. I've got it covered by either the lattice or the new tarp, which is a custom-made tarp. It's the one that I ordered from Home Depot. It costs $150. So nothing is visible from any resident point. So that's one thing. And just a note, I 2 businesses down, there's another business with all kinds of stuff out there, tires and stuff, and it's visible from the road. I'm not going to go there, but just to say that, just to contrast, 2 businesses down at the rental place, all kinds of blight, chairs, all kinds of things. My shed is now rat proof. I'd be willing to, I don't know. I'm communicating with the Orkin man right now, and I'm trying to get his thoughts on whether he said it was good, because according to my employee, that he said that I don't have a rat problem now. So, and that's in contrast to the report that Mr. Greenwood reports that he got at night. So I'm not really sure which is which. I think if I had to guess, I would say that report is pertinent from a couple weeks ago. Yes, I did have a rat problem. I poisoned rats. I trapped rats. I made sure that they were all out of there. I'm a natural history buff. I have a degree from University of Michigan, natural history. I worked for Orkin. I've been around rats for 35 years at my pet shop. I know a lot about rats. So I'm really an expert on it. And I maintain that right now, my shed is not harboring rats. I've dealt with the problem. I put gravel all around it. I did have a problem, and I've resolved it. And I'm keen on resolving it. I'm not going to sit here and say, "Oh, you know better than me." I just think that we can agree, and I'd be willing to submit to either another. I don't know what Mr. Acosta writes back and says, I have a program with I'm doing a program for the township. I really think you could ask for a second opinion if necessary. I'm texting him. This is just 10 minutes ago. However, Lorcan would be more than willing to assist you in setting up a pest program for your location. So, I mean, that's what he said. So I don't know. That seems to say that I don't know what that says, but all I know is he told my worker as of like 4 o'clock yesterday that I don't have a rat problem, that I'm good. So, and as your Honor, I do have some cages behind the pet shop. They're animal cages, and they're useful to my business. They're useful to my business. I can't bring them into the storage area, okay? I have shelves. I have stainless steel shelves. They're very durable. They're very weatherproof. They're not causing any kind of blight. I do have some aquarium stands, used aquarium stands. In no way will those harbor rats or attract rats. Yes, I do have them outside. I can't put them anywhere else. What happens, I maintain that for 35 years, I've been able to use a 7-foot extension of my building. It's a concrete pad. I've been able to use that without any interference. And especially, I think I should be able to do that since none of it's visible to the public. I should be able to. I have a couple shelves out there. I do projects there. Here's what happens. A customer calls up. I've got a 120-gallon tank I want to give to you guys. Okay, I'm going to take that, Your Honor. I'm going to take that aquarium. I can't fit it into my pet shop. I want to be able to put it behind my pet shop. I want to be able to empty the gravel into a receptacle. I want to be able to clean the aquarium. I want to be able to maybe paint the stand. That is a work area that is very important for me. And to say that I can't put things out there, that's not reasonable. And I see it as a hindrance to me being able to do my business. I should be, the shelves that I have out there, I bring them out during the summer and put used stuff on there. I mean, I should be able to use the area behind my shop. And I'm looking at, like I say, Your Honor, I'm looking at other areas, other businesses similar to mine. They always have stuff behind their shop. In most cases, it's even visible. No one's complaining about it. I think I look at this point, Your Honor. I mean, Mr. Greenwood didn't show you pictures of what it looks like now. It's very neat. And I've gotten rid of about 1/3 of the shelves I've been able to I put them on Craigslist. And then I got to the point where I should be able to use the area behind my pet shop as I've stated. I have a couple animal cages there. Okay, they're used to house rats or mice or guinea pigs. Well, I sell guinea pigs. I sell rats. I sell mice. I buy them from other people. What would happen if there was a rat shortage? What would happen if there was a guinea pig shortage, a mouse shortage? I wouldn't want to bring those cages inside and start breeding them myself. So that's definitely a possibility. There was a cricket farm that went totally out of business a few years ago. You couldn't get crickets. That could easily happen to mice or rats. So it's not like I'm storing a couch out there or a barbecue pit. These items that I have out there are totally necessary for the successful operation of my business. And you can tell I feel pretty passionate about it. It's not, there's no way that it's harboring rats or attracting rats. These are stainless steel cages. The aquarium stands are out there. There's no way a rat's gonna make a nest or be attracted. We're out there every day. The shed itself, I have lawnmowers, I have a generator, I have salt in there, I have all kinds of things. I own the whole city block, so I have to have a lot of stuff in there. I can't fit those cages in there. So I've done a lot of work, Your Honor, I'm all about making Ypsilanti look good. If you look at my property now, every day I pick up cigarette butts, all kinds of garbage in my land. And my shop is one of the most nicest looking ones, and I continue to want to have it be in an attractive place where people come in and say that, hey, we take care of things. So like I say, I definitely don't want to have anything to do with harboring rats, but I feel like we're good right now. I'd be willing to get a second opinion. I don't know what like I say, I'm unsure of what the Orkin man, you know, which one's true, but all I'm going on is what my employee said that he reported that we're good. A couple weeks ago, yes, we had a problem. I took care of it. And now I don't think that any pest control person would come out and say, we've got a problem. So there you have it, Your Honor. Like I say, I've been in business for 35 years. I've always been a stand-up guy, and it's not like I want to, you know, I want to be a problem or a pest for the township. I want to be a good citizen and a good business owner and maintain, you know, what I'm doing. I think right now I'm at a good point. As far as the lattice, that's the first that Mr. Greenwood is saying, okay, I thought I did what I was supposed to do. Those lattices, you can't get them anymore. So I covered it with proper pairing. On the sign, I did register for it. I haven't paid the $25 or $35. I can do that today. The rest of it, I pulled all my banner signs down. I cleared up all the blight outside. I took all the signs down. So I've done a lot of work, Your Honor, to get to this point. And I don't think my shop has ever looked any better. And I would guarantee you, if you had 50 customers ask if my shop looked good, all 50 of them would say it looked good.
Except for the rats.
Thank you. Any questions for him?
That was a rat rant.
I don't think I have any questions.
Poor Stu.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor, for letting me express myself. You can tell I have passion.
Oh, you do, Stu.
Mr. Barnett, at this point, it is your time to make closing statements.
Thank you. I appreciate what Mr. Collins is saying, but you know, unfortunately, per Mr. Greenwood's testimony, he can't store those items in the exterior area. And it seems to me that that's the real issue that's driving. And he said he's passionate about it, and that's clear. I think that's sort of driving where we are right now, because he has made some efforts to rectify the situation. But, you know, unfortunately for him, that's the way the ordinance is written, according to Mr. Greenwood. I'm not an expert in that area, but he is. So he says that's a violation, and he needs to remove those items to come into compliance. So, you know, that needs to happen. As it relates to the rat issue,
everybody's,
you know, Mr. Collins says that his employee talked to somebody from Orkin, and he gave a name, Anthony Acosta. You know, we have an email that was sent.
This is brought to you by Stu from Pet City Pets in Ypsilanti Township.
Hi, my name's Stu. I'm the owner of Pet City Pets. We are located here in beautiful Ypsilanti, Michigan. I've been a pet lover all my life. Our staff, also all pet lovers, all of them. We specialize in 3 areas.
Rats,
puppies,
rats,
reptiles, and
rats.
tropical fish. Our puppies come from private breeders, not puppy mills.
And there's no goddamn rats.
Here. We're here a lot of hours during the day.
No rats. Not a goddamn rat in the place.
To the township yesterday, I believe, from Mr. Acosta, outlining what the issue is with respect to the pebbles, presence of devices staff had near the shed. 2 pictures. Let's see. Orkin is willing to assist with developing an appropriate service and treatment plan. So it basically, based on that, he's indicating that there still is an issue at this point, and that's again dated on the 18th of April.
Okay, so he said 1 burrow, right? 1 burrow, so 1 little hole under the shed.
The presence of rodents in and around a retail store poses significant health risk to both customers and employees. And then he indicates Orkin is willing to assist to develop a appropriate plan.
All right, what is your request at this time, Mr. Barnett?
What I would recommend is that we, in order, as Mr. Greenwood suggested, enter requiring him to bring the property in compliance, remove the storage that's on the exterior of the property, finish getting his permit for the sign, address the fence, either remove the tarp and replace the lattice or remove the lattice work, and then address the rodent issue as it relates to the shed in a manner satisfactory to the township, basically. So that's either you correct the issues in the shed or it's removed. I think, again, it seemed to me that Orkin had outlined what a procedure might be. So I would ask for an order entered requiring him to take those steps to bring the property into compliance.
Thank you. All right, after hearing testimony in this is going to be my order. I would suggest that you write it down, Mr. Barnett. It's probably not going to be typical.
Okay.
I'm going to order, first of all, that he follow the permit application process for the signage and get that done within the application needs to be submitted within the next 48 hours. That as to the tarp and the lattice, that the tarp either be removed and the lattice replaced, or the fence needs to be replaced. It's in violation of the Ypsilanti Township ordinance. That with respect to the items outside, I have not seen pictures of those. If the township wants to submit the way they look now, they can do that and I can review that. I'm going to order that any cages or any outside items be removed if that is requested by Orkin. I'm going to allow Orkin to make a decision as to what needs to be done in order to rectify the rodent situation both in and outside of the building. Unless the township can provide me with additional evidence or documentation in terms of ordinances that says that a business cannot store items outside as long as they do not create a health hazard. I believe that there are businesses that do store items outside. And so I think that this may bring us in compliance with the health hazard. I am concerned about the cages. I understand, sir, that you're indicating that they're stainless steel and are not attracting rodents. However, if animals have been living in those cages and they have leftover food, whether or not they can get into it, it will attract them to that particular vicinity. So I'm very concerned about that. And I want to have Orkin's opinion on that particular issue. So I will order that he come into compliance with those stipulations. And I believe that the way the township does it is if he does not come into compliance, it allows the township to go in and bring the property into compliance at your expense, sir. I will allow that order with those specific stipulations.
May I ask a question, Your Honor?
You may certainly.
I appreciate your, I've dealt with you before. I do appreciate your even-handedness in your demeanor. I really do. I have a question about the lattice. Right now, the lattice looks perfect from the outside. Are you saying that I have to tear down all the lattice that it's in perfect compliance? I had my worker have the fence, look really good from the outside. Then in the inside, I put the tarp that I got from Home Depot. So I mean, there's no broken lattices on the outside where we're talking about. Are you saying that I have to take those all down?
I'm saying that the ordinance requires that you do that, or you bring it into compliance. It sounds like your property is grandfathered in with respect to that lattice, and they have requirements as to what that should look like. That rule applies to you and anybody else, just like it would apply to me. Even if they came to my home, I have to be in compliance with whatever it is that they are ordering that I have to do. So yes.
Okay, I'll have to work it out with Mr. Greenwood because he'd never mentioned that to me before. He just mentioned it right now. That's kind of surprising me because I think it looks really good.
That is my order.
And I apologize, but since it is a little
Oh, rats.
detailed.
lost.
If you could just sort of outline for me again as it relates to the third and fourth. So items outside, stored outside, cages, and those types of things. What are we?
Don't they call that a ratus?
I think that we need to have Orkin advise us as to what, if any, of those items are attracting rodents and
Got it.
affecting the issue. That will be within their purview.
Okay, thank you. And that-
Unless the township can provide me with an actual statute that says that businesses can't store items outside, and I would have to review that statute and make a decision within those parameters.
Thank you. Understood.
Thank you.
I'll prepare that order and submit it.
Thank you.
Oh boy, I told you that was worth it. Why I was laughing is because I heard this today, but I didn't see it. So like I heard rats a million times, and then so now I finally got everything. So and then looking at the comments, and then it's just so great that I'm actually producing content and you guys are enjoying it. It's just so much fun that you're having fun with me. Yeah, it's just great. I really, truly appreciate you guys. Like, I know a lot of creators must say that, but I really do. It's so much fun. I have so much fun with you guys every night. I really do appreciate it. It's great. You guys are like therapy for me. It's great. All right, here we go. I'm going to give you one little funny clip. Judge Grandma was holy today. Yeah, she was holy. I'll tell you. We'll see why. And then we have the monster TPO main event, the hump to end all humps on Hump Day. Here we go. Let's have a little Judge Grandma. We haven't had Judge Grandma in a couple days. Here we go.
Okay, we're going to try the case of Michael Robinson.
Father
We
Robinson.
call the case number 22-1607. People State of Michigan versus Michael Robinson.
And no, it's not what you think. He's not here for that, people. So stop.
Here today for a citizen attorney.
What's up with Ice-T? That guy, I swear to God, I thought that was Ice-T underneath Judge Grandma.
And good morning, Your Honor. John Casey, number 56162, continuing on behalf of the people.
Judge, again, for the record, Lyle Harris for Mr. Robinson.
Robinson, state your name for the record.
Michael Robinson.
Thank you. Mr. Prosecutor, you receive a copy of the pre-sentencing report?
I have, and I'm actually reviewing it right now.
All right. Mr. Marr?
Yes, Judge.
Does Mr. Robinson qualify for benefits through the VA medical?
$9.99 for the rats.
He does not. So we'll be using community resources.
All right.
He's going to be coming in to see us in person, and this is right under Agent McGill's field of expertise. So we will be setting him up, Judge.
Right. When's he coming in?
He's going to be coming in to see us on May 1st.
You writing that date down, Robinson?
Yes, ma'am.
Father Humps.
Between what time, Mr.
Not
Myers?
really a hump.
Between 10 and noon, Judge.
I don't know whose mic was that, but it was very annoying.
Between 10 and noon. Between 10 and noon. Mr. Robinson, that's the same place that you met me at before when you and I spoke. Room 610.
Whenever you're ready, Mr. Casey, let us know.
I do recall looking at the pre-sentence, it looks like they weren't able to contact any of the vehicle's owners to get any amount of possible restitution. I know one of the things that held this case up was trying to get in touch with Miss Milner. She was the young pregnant lady that was in one of the vehicles that was struck, just to confirm that she was okay as a result of this. I do recall the courtroom APA getting in touch with her, and fortunately she was fine. Regarding the 30 days, looking at the wording of the sentence agreement, Mr. Robinson has that 1 to 5 year sentence hanging over his head. Again, if that would be the incarceration portion, should he fail to complete successfully Veterans Court and all of its treatment programs. So regarding the 30 days, it is recommended. I'd submit the court's call ultimately, but it's not required as part of the sentence agreement.
Okay, so you're leaving it to the court's discretion?
Yes.
All right. Mr. Robinson, did you want to say anything before sentencing?
What, you mean as far as my,
anything you want me to know before I sentence, or you think
program that in, or the time I served in jail already? Yeah, those things.
The chat is.
Oh no, ma'am. I'm sure you're quite capable.
Best moderators.
All right, so the Veterans Treatment Court is a minimum of a 2-year probationary period. Sometimes we do more. We work with a team. We work hard. You're now a member of the team, so you're going to work hard too.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Understand this. I don't make requests or suggestions. I give orders. You know what orders are.
Yes, ma'am, I do.
And you know what to do with orders.
Yes, ma'am, I do.
And you know what happens when orders are not followed.
Yes, I do.
All right.
Sweat.
I'm going to put you in the Veterans Treatment Court. I'm going to hold the 30 days in the county jail in abeyance. No controlled substance, no alcohol.
Yes, ma'am.
Your analysis on demand. We have inpatient, outpatient treatment at the court's discretion. You will have to get a full physical.
Yes, ma'am.
Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
You got a $68 state cost, $130 crime victim fee, $30 a month supervision fee, $1,000 in court costs, $400 in attorney's fees, and there's a $500 fine. The court will take 150 hours of community service with any nonprofit organization in lieu of the court costs and attorney's fees. You're going to have a mental health evaluation. If you don't successfully complete the program, you're going to be sentenced to a term of no less than 1, no more than 5 years, Michigan Department of Corrections. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
And you've got 6 days jail credit.
What's up, Cha?
Mr. Meyer, has he been tested? He's got a test twice a week to begin the program at JAMS.
Yes, Judge. So, Mr. Robinson, while for the full duration of the program, you'll be required to test at our testing facility every week on either Tuesday or Thursday. You're able to choose. And then you are subject to random testing on Saturdays, Sundays, and federal holidays. Once you come in to report on May 1st, I will give you the exact information that you need in order to be able to test. We will also set you up for which provider you're going to use to get that physical and to get the evaluations that are also part of the program so you can begin a treatment plan.
Now, May 1st is a long ways off. What's happening in the interim 2 weeks?
Well, actually, Judge, I can call Mr. Robinson after we get off of the docket here, and give him the specific testing information. So, Mr. Robinson, can you confirm your phone number?
313-266-2697.
So, Judge, I'll take care of that as soon as we're done with this, and then make sure that he knows where to
on
go.
an alcohol tablet?
Not to my knowledge, unless it was part of bond. Unless it must be part of bond. Yeah.
Sir, are you on alcohol tab at the moment?
Alcohol and GPS. Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to remove the GPS. I'm not removing the alcohol tab.
You're a very wise judge.
So, Judge, I know that the sheriff department is going to try to get that tether back unless there is a new order. Would you like me to submit an order requiring that until further notice?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll do that, Judge.
All right. As well as we'll remove the GPS, but we're keeping the alcohol tab.
May I say something, Your Honor?
Mr. Robinson, I'm listening.
Judge, you know, I've been going to classes and actually studying this stuff. In 2 years, it seems like it takes that long just to get the neurons in your brain patterns remapped so you start thinking and acting differently. And now you're on 2 years.
I said a minimum of 2.
Okay. Yes, ma'am. I got you.
Yeah.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
got one veteran I've had for 4 years now.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
So I would just because it doesn't, you know. Thank you, ma'am.
I'm glad you're
Thank you.
studying it. That's a good sign. That sounds like we're going to get along pretty well. Mr. Martin,
ma'am.
anything else we need to address at this time? When will I see him again?
Judge, you will see him again on May 3rd.
May 3rd.
So, Mr. Robinson, while you're in phase 1 of this program, you'll be required to see the judge twice a month. Our typical schedule is the first and third Wednesday of the month.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to sign on to the same Zoom that you used today. And we ask that you sign on at 12:30 each time. So your next court date is May 3rd. Sign on at 12:30. Once you're promoted out of phase 1, then it drops down. Supervision level drops down with probation, and the amount of times that you have to see the judge drop down. Except that the judge can make you come to court as many times she wants to, any month as necessary. But that's generally. Yep. Just follow orders, and we'll set it up for you nicely. Judge, that's all I have.
All right.
Do I get some kind of schedule so I know when the court dates are?
Oh, you can either put them in your phone or you can buy a calendar.
A calendar.
Oh, okay, I got you. I just write it down then.
Okay, yeah, just
All right, I'm happy to help with that.
It gets rather routine after a while. It gets rather routine.
I love it.
All right, I'm gonna see you twice a month till I see some progress. Then it drops down to once a month unless there's an issue.
You're not getting rid of me that easy, Judge.
Likewise, Mr. Robinson.
No.
All right, sir. You know when you're gonna talk to Mr. Meyer after these proceedings. He will give the necessary orders to make whatever adjustments are necessary for the tethers. And I will see you again on May 3rd.
Fantastic.
And hopefully not before.
Here we go, baby.
Before then, that means there was an issue.
Here we go. The main event. Ding, 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 ding. Let's get it going, people. Just give me a second. Let me just resize this sucker. Give me a second, people. Okay, here we go. Just gonna resize it for a second. I'm still learning this how to give you the ultimate experience here, and I'm still working out the kinks. So, all right, let's go. So this is a TPO for the ages. This is going to be fun. Let's do it to it, people. Thank you, Lisa.
Present your case. And so their witnesses will testify one by one. When each of their witnesses finishes testifying, you'll have a chance to suggest questions to them. In these types of hearings, knowing that there are allegations of violence, typically I will serve as a filter or a go-between. And so you will kind of present those questions to the court, and I will ask the ones that are relevant or helpful. Understand that the parties typically don't agree about the facts of the case, and that's one of the reasons we're having the hearing in the first place. And so while I certainly respect those disagreements, hopefully you can be choosy about which things are best handled through questioning other witnesses and which things are best handled through giving your own testimony of the events as you experience them. Generally speaking, the questions that we focus on in these hearings are whether we have jurisdiction over the case. That's simply a question of where the respondent lives, whether there have been acts of family violence committed, and whether this order might help prevent acts of family violence from occurring in the future. And so we try to focus on those issues, though we recognize that there are other
I got you.
layers and other things, facts and circumstances that surround these cases that can sometimes be relevant to answering those questions. So we are going to bring in our other witness from the, do we have them in a breakout room or the waiting room?
Are we going to have the opportunity to give a brief opening statement, Judge, or are we going to skip that?
You can do that now at this time. It looks like we may, while I was talking, we may have lost your witness from the waiting room.
It may be the Moto G-Go person that was also in the waiting room.
Yes.
The other person that was there was a witness for the position 6 and 7.
Oh, I'm sorry. What did your witness look like,
What's up,
Mr. Powers?
Rita?
Can you provide a brief description?
Hey, Christy.
I have not seen her. Her name was Lana Aguilar.
Would it be all right if I ask your client for a brief description? We had someone in the waiting room who we tried to connect to audio and troubleshoot the connection with, and we were unsuccessful. So I think it may have been them.
Yes, Judge.
Okay. Ms. Nelson, what can you tell me about Ms. Aguilar's appearance so we can try to make an educated guess as to whether the person we were working with was them?
On March the 28th, I received a text from.
I'm sorry, let me stop you here. Do you know what Ms. Aguilar looks like?
She's Hispanic with brunette hair.
Okay, I think there's a good chance. Is this them? Ms.
I don't
Nelson.
see it.
Welcome, Julius.
I don't see.
Yes.
I don't see the
Daylight.
picture.
We like him.
Can you take your phone and swipe?
Judge
Are you on a
knowledge.
phone or a computer?
On a computer.
Do you have a little arrow? If you mouse over the screens, do you have a little arrow to click to the right to kind of see more screens?
Yeah.
Can you try that and see if you see something that says Moto G Go?
Alvin, I know, my man. You've been there since day
Or
one.
I guess
bro.
let me ask this.
Yeah, I think I see.
Welcome, dude.
Okay, so if we can get them to turn their camera back on, I'll at least have you look at them and
Comment on
confirm.
your
Yeah, that's
comments.
her.
Welcome.
Okay,
You're
very
home.
good. So we have the witness. That's a good
Welcome,
start.
nerd.
We have not been able to hear them yet. Miss Aguilar, can you hear me? Can you nod your...
He can't hear you, Judge.
Okay.
I was unable to connect with her, Judge. She's responsive in chat, but she has not been able to connect.
This is a lengthy marriage that has had a history of domestic violence from Mr. Nelson against Miss Nelson throughout the marriage. Miss Nelson purchased the home in question at 1230 Oak Knoll Court about 18 years ago. And it wasn't until 5 years ago that she put Mr. Nelson's name on the title. She also owns a 2012 Range Rover that he currently possesses the keys to. So on January 26th, Mr. Nelson, who has a problem with drugs and alcohol and has been inviting men into the home, or men and women into the home to do drugs and alcohol,
Grab your membership,
got drunk,
Monica.
got high, and pulled a gun on Miss Nelson. She proceeded to get out of the room, call the police. The police arrived. She told them what happened. He denied it, and the police said, "This is your word against his. Without further evidence, we're not going to do anything here." And she said, "Well, this is my house." And they said, "It's his house too." And she said, "Well, I need my car keys. I need my car to leave." And he originally said, "I'll give her the car keys." And then he turned around and said, "You know what? No, I'm keeping the car." And the police said, "There's nothing that we can do here. Do you have a place to stay?" And so she left. She took an Uber and she went and found a safe place to stay away from this man. Fast forward, she's living somewhere else. He allows Miss Lana Aguilar and her boyfriend to move into the home. About 2 weeks ago, he got drunk or high and got into an argument with these two individuals, and he pulled that same gun on them and threatened them in the exact same way. And that's the testimony that we intend to get from Miss Aguilar here today. And so basically what we have here, Judge, is it's unfortunate that this man is sick and having a hard time, but you don't get to pull guns on your spouse in the home that they purchased without your assistance and keep that home. She needs her house back, she needs her car back, and she needs a court order to keep this man away from her, or he's going to harm her, because the testimony here today is going to show that he is mentally unstable. Thank you, Judge.
All right, Mr. Nelson, opening statements are not evidence. What they are is a chance to sort of provide a brief roadmap for what you expect your side of the case or the evidence in general will show.
Bravo.
You saw how he kind of presented that, and then what he will do is call a few witnesses to establish the facts that he asserts happened in his opening. So do you wish to make an opening statement at this time, understanding that you would still need to testify under oath if you intend to, make a statement that would be considered an evidence?
Sure. If I can make an opening statement, I'd like to.
Go ahead.
And the day of question with my wife, the only person that was, being belligerent and acting, very, she was kind of being like a little bit out of control in that day of question. There was no guns. There was no domestic violence. We have 4 police officers there, and they was trying to get her to control herself. And they were telling her, "You calm down." And then they asked her, "Could you please get your stuff? And could you please, leave the premises as soon as you can?" Because, the way she was just cursing and, being all belligerent. So as far as our home goes, my daughter, myself, and my wife, I did the walkthrough of my home, work on that house whenever anything. And the thing is, she's been using law enforcement to control me and threaten me. And she would say things that wasn't true all the time. Just, she uses the police officers to manage my household. And as far as Miss Aguilar, I tried to have somebody to help me because she left me, closed my account, canceled my ATM card, and I had nothing. I have nowhere way to take care of myself. Well, these two people who are talking about drugs and alcohol, I caught them doing heroin in my room. This guy was passed out with his eyes rolling behind his head, and I told them to leave.
Heroin.
And his big dog was viciously coming up on me as if the dog was going to attack me. My wife leaving me like that, I didn't make a good decision. I had no money, Judge. I needed help. And that's all I was trying to do was get help. And pretty much, as far as the truck is concerned, I'm the primary owner of the truck. The registration is in my name. June is my birthday. I don't understand what's going on. Everything got twisted around. I've been with this woman for 25 years of my life. She's always had jobs that were out of state. I practically raised my.
Happy birthday, La! Happy birthday, La! Thank you, sweetie. Happy birthday.
What I will ask in terms of the way that we proceed with the hearing, I'd like to receive evidence with a heavy focus on violence, threats of violence, intimidation, and things in that vein, so that a decision can be made about whether or not an order should issue. And then to the extent there are questions regarding the possession or disposal of property on a temporary basis, I'll address the parties individually after a ruling is made. So if an order, we don't need to talk about houses and cars and that sort of stuff until we know that we're issuing a protective order. And then if I decide that I am in fact extending this order 12 months, there will be some things I'll ask one side about, some things I'll ask both sides about, and maybe some things I don't ask either side about, but I just make a decision based on the information I have at my disposal. And so we'll go through that as best we can. We do have Mr. Powers as witness back in the waiting room. So we're going to take a swing at this and see if we get a better result. I feel like the mute sign, promising start than where we were before. I've sent her a prompt to unmute.
Hello?
All right, we can hear you. Thank you for joining us. We are ready to begin with your portion of the hearing. It should be somewhat brief, but Mr. Powers is going to have some questions for you. And then after that, Mr. Nelson, if he has questions to suggest to the court, will have the opportunity to do so, and I may relay some of those questions to you as well. Can I have you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you swear any statements you make to the court will be the truth under penalty of perjury?
Yes, I do.
Thank you. You can put your hand down. Would you state your name for the record, please?
Lana Aguilar.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Powers, your witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Aguilar, do you know the respondent in this case, Mr. Nelson?
Yes, I do.
How do you know Mr. Nelson?
We had lived with him for a short period of time in March.
And how did your living with Mr. Nelson come about?
A mutual friend of ours knew we had just had to move out of our place because our place was being sold. So he introduced us to Mr. Nelson, and we ended up paying Mr. Nelson to stay with him.
Did you know Miss Nelson, the petitioner in this case, prior to that?
Not prior to that, no.
At some point around 2 weeks ago, was there an incident with Mr. Nelson?
Yes, there was.
What happened?
We had just woke up at Mr. Nelson's home, and we were in the room that we were renting from him, and he knocked on our bedroom door, and I answered it, and I asked him what he wanted, and he said he wanted to speak to my boyfriend. So my boyfriend went out there, and I heard them like yelling, and Mr. Nelson was telling him to get the F out of his house. And he asked why, and he said because we left the door unlocked and we left the lights on, and he wasn't going to have that going on in his home. And he said, if I have to make you, I will make you get out of my house. And he went into his room.
Hair on.
I always try to pick one person to ask. There's about a 50% chance at any given time that they're frozen for me, and only for me. All right. So Mr. Powers is going to redirect you for where we lost you for a moment, but you appear to be back now.
Okay.
So you had stated that he went into his room. What happened next?
He come out with a gun in his hand, and he told us to get the F out of his house.
Get out of my house with all
Did he
that
point
hair
the gun
on.
at you?
At my boyfriend, and I was in the doorway.
Since that occurrence, did Mr. Nelson offer your boyfriend money to not attend this hearing today?
What?
I believe she's frozen again, Judge.
No.
I think this is my last question, so hopefully we'll get through that. Yeah. Miss Aguilar. Miss Aguilar, did Mr. Nelson offer your boyfriend money for you both not to attend this hearing today?
Yes,
How much money?
$500.
No further questions, Judge.
Saucy.
All right.
Okay, this is what's gonna happen right now. I'm going usually normally long, so what I'm gonna do is this case you're going to hop over to KCC, Kitchen Court Cases, and you are at the 20-minute mark. You are gonna finish the rest of the case with Kitchen Court Cases. So head on over to her and watch the rest of this, because you can't find it anywhere else. Guys, it's been real. Tomorrow is the big show. Don't miss it. Mikey's going to be here from Credence and Mikey, the legend. We are going to be watching court, some Karens, some tasers. Let's go, people. Head over to Kitchen Court Cases right about now and go watch her show. You have been served.